Hello there everyone, this is Mark 3 and welcome back to a bit of Mecha Knights Nightmare. Apologies for the slight pause there, it's been a rough couple of weeks where my nightly prayer is, please let me sleep. Seriously, I'm repeating this thing over and over at night, it's like a mantra, and it's just like, it's taking a toll on my sanity, I think. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Mecha Knights Nightmare, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. For today, we are doing a experimental weapon test in... if we go to the campaign. Weapon test, part 18. Right shoulder weapon replaced with the MLL XOO Ragnarok mobile laser. Okay. So right shoulder weapon, as remember at the end of last time we set things up, so we've got a single Torden on that side. But shout out for this one to I Cthulhu, our eldritch, ever eternal, squiddy god person, long may he wave. That said the equipment build you had in the second try is the one liked best, and strangely I never had a grenade wall drop. Yeah, it seems like if you're after a specific weapon system, it can be extreme potluck if it actually drops for you or not. I've been trying to get an extra Torden double barrel, and I've not managed to. So, yeah, I've not left this going alone in the last week or so. But I've not managed to find the extra piece of super heavy artillery that I wanted. But, yeah, grenade wall. It says look forward to me trying that out. Just because of that, I am going to fit it on the right shoulder because we get a better view here. Just because we can have a quick look at it. Which is the grenade wall. It's a standalone weapon, it looks like, because there's no earlier versions since it's tucked in right at the top here. With Gatling guns, high velocity cannons, and the only other thing nearby is the Isset double grenade launcher there. Though that itself also seems to be its own lineage because it's not near any of the other grenade weaponry and stuff. But the grenade wall is a big box weapon system like that. Kind of like the missile launch systems. And this is going to be another case of it might look okay on paper with the stats, but we do not know how well this big box of destruction will do in actual combat. So let's swap it out again really quickly, if we have a look. Yeah, one of the odd things about the grenade wall is it says in the listings here is it's a T2 grenade launcher burst fire, whatever the heck that means, because it also has a projectile multiplier of 12. So, does it fire a 12 burst that costs 12 ammo? Does it fire 12 shots that requires 1 ammo? A lot depends on its actual ammo consumption. But regardless, each time we fire it, it's going to spit out 12 projectiles, each doing 1,600 damage, which is really low. But the times 12 means it's doing something like 19 to 20,000 raw explosive damage with an OK blast radius of 15. So it looks like a carpet bomber weapon. It's going to try and turn its target area into the equivalent of a blasted moonscape or a parking lot, one or the other. The big question, of course, is still the actual ammunition use and how effective it might be, because during my operations in this game, I have kind of found, as I've noted before, the grenade weapons, the rockets and things, they often underperform compared to the big hitters like the Tordens, which just like pull the trigger and everything goes splat. So I don't know how the grenade wall is going to go, but anyway, we're going to honour I Am Cthulhu here with the grenade wall on the left shoulder pod, so there it is. We are going in once again without our Torden super heavy artilleries because, as I said, the right shoulder is going to be replaced with the laser. So we'll have to see how this goes, honestly. So, here we go. Weapon test. Clear the path northwards using a dangerous weapon prototype in the diary. Neve chewed me out in front of some top brass after we got Mira into the medics. If we hadn't been on the verge of extinction of mankind, the situation would have been quite different. So this is a case of The lone wolf tactics being excused because of circumstance. Insubordination, demotion, insubordination, demotion, and court-martial were thrown at me several times. Can't argue I disobeyed orders, but the thought of losing me was simply too much. So yeah, she is pivotal to Ethan's sanity at this point. It says here, like, felt coming undone at the seams. Is it someone else in control of his actions? Oh no, it's the hive mind. The hive mind is getting control of Ethan. The hive mind, for some reason, wants Mia to survive. Yes, it's the synapse creatures. It's the it's the tyranids. They're taking control. Ugh. Right. Just to save Mia, nothing else mattered. So yeah, Ethan's in love. Silver lining was all. Cheryl stepped up, saved the day, and saved Mia. No, Cheryl did not save Mia. Ethan saved Mia, so some distorted recollection going on here, among others. Apparently there's safety systems that are kick in and protect for temporarily. Why those didn't kick in and save Jake a while back, if you recall our friend that got killed. He didn't get a protection system saving him. Medic said no internal bleeding, but just a couple of broken bones. Might be out of commission for a while. In between the ass chewing got from Niv, she mentioned that the scientists have made immense progress on the weapon we recovered from the underground base. She put me in charge of carrying to the field test for it. I don't know what it does, but apparently its power has some of the brass scared. They referred to it as a portable WMD. What? I'm kind of wondering now, is it even more of a WMD than the Tordens? Well, technically the Tordens aren't mass destruction weapons, they're just really, really powerful, but, you know. After it makes me more excited than scared. Odd time for a weapon test. If we don't get to Kiev in time, Europe will be lost. Yeah, well, we do have the different map views of what's going on as well. If we look, there's the Princess one where we were before. Now they're continuing their push eastward here. They're pushing a little bit north. They actually, they're pushing south as well, though that horde down there seems to have stopped at the moment. The marker for the horde we fought here has disappeared. But if we go back to the second one, notice that they were on this island here. And then they got pushed back. Someone else is winning. That's not allowed. We're the only ones that are allowed to win. That's the way these games work, isn't it? Oh well, anyway, let's go. Right shoulder weapon replaced with the Ragnarok mobile laser. We'll have to see how that goes. But honestly, I'm wondering if I should be carrying out the those frag grenade cannons on my arms again, just because they are really good against big enemies. The issue is that they don't really have the... They're not very flexible against smaller enemies. And the Tordens are anti-big things as well. So I might need to switch up my mech loadout slightly if more and more big enemies keep appearing, like they did on that beach invasion. The plasmas, though, plasmas are working all right. Kind of missed the Daka of the Gatlings, admittedly, but in terms of overall damage output, as we've already established, they are the same effect. It's just that the plasmas have a minimal passive recharge, which is so slow it might as well be non-existent, which is kind of odd, I still think. Okay, here we go. Ooh, that's a bulky thing, isn't it?
Alright, this is it, Echo 7. This is the day we get to pick the ace up our sleeve. Are you up for the task?
And picked by the highest echelon of command to test fire the most devastating, cutting-edge piece of mobile weaponry ever created? How can you even ask?
Good to hear. Not only do you have to test and ensure that the weapon is optimized for field use, but Command has deemed it possible to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and allow you to clear a path through the enemy, and let our troops move towards Kiev.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Never doubted that for a second, Echo 7. The weapon has already been pushed through testing, but the lab rats back in weapons research need actual data on physical specimens if they're to determine the weapon's effectiveness in combat.
And I'm the lucky guy who gets to collect the data. Man, I love science.
The laser, nicknamed Ragnarok by the science team,
How appropriate.
is designed to fire devastating barrages of laser projectiles, causing massive explosions upon impact. Once the trigger is pulled, the weapon will
Unleash Ragnarok.
Exactly. The weapon is powered by your mech's internal generator, so mind your mech's energy gauge. Otherwise, you might be in a precarious situation.
Roger. I see no other friendly troops have joined me today. Are you not confident in the weapon?
Quite the opposite, Echo 7. The weapon is so powerful that the higher-ups have deemed it safest for you to use it without any friendlies around. The Air Force is standing by to pick you up when you're done. Have fun. Command out.
Right, so we're in an arena, it looks like. It says bursts of fire for this laser. And there's already... Oh, hello. Right. Oh, wow. Can I get two of these? Oh, there's even big boys here. Okay. Okay, grenade wall. Grenade wall? Okay, it is one, it just cluster fires, so it's not actually a burst fire weapon. Kind of scatters a bit. Not really sure. This thing, though, it's annihilating those guys. Look at that! It is also slowly recharging ammo as well, I'm noticing. At a much better rate than the plasmas, I will know. Oh, hello. It's also, the lasers look suspiciously like the shots fired from those big flower-like enemies. It's also scatter as well. But... yeah, I think the Torden has a rival if I can get more of these Ragnaroks. Got to keep testing the grenade wall though. It's actually more like a shotgun than an actual grenade system. Yeah, respectable damage against single targets. Okay-ish rate of fire. It's being blown out of the water by the Ragnarok, of course, but you know, should probably be a bit more careful, shouldn't I? But yeah, I feel like it's a shoulder-mounted version of those grenade cannons we had mounted in the arms on that beach mission. Not very good against groups of small enemies, just because of how tight the code. Oh, hello. Yeah, just take care of you guys. I don't like having lots of missiles around for obvious reasons. Come on, come on. There we go. It's also not really impacting my energy levels that much. It's something I've noticed. They said it should be a high power thing, but it's not really doing that much. Grenade wall, though, excellent against mid-sized enemies. Could do with a better rate of fire, though. And against small enemies, it just doesn't have any real AoE, is what I feel like. Is that more missiles? Well, that is more missiles, isn't it? Oh, great, there's even more enemies, right. I should probably stop messing around and actually focus on the objectives. So that's, of course, the Ragnarok. Actually, the Ragnarok's recovering its ammo really well. And having an energy-focused mech like this is... meaning I'm not really losing much of anything either using it.
Supply helicopter is on the way. It will reach nearest drop zone shortly.
Yeah, I'm not suffering any kind of energy loss. Well, I'm suffering some energy loss. Ammo loss, I'm not really having though. I did not like the sound of that. Just trying to keep moving. Right. Take you. Let's flatten a whole load of these guys. I did not expect them to give me a weapon this good, I admit. When they said Ragnarok testing prototype, I was expecting it to have like power draw problems or things like those big railguns we were fighting with. But this thing is working surprisingly well. So well that I honestly don't trust it, and I fear they're going to take it away from me partway through the mission, which is going to suck. But the amount of gore I'm able to spit out with this thing is just, yeah. Very effective. Yeah, over distance when it scatters, the grenade wall just doesn't do much damage at all. But when you're close to mid-range, it does very, very nasty things when multiple grenades hit the same target. So it's up close to the liter of mid-sized enemies. There we go. Still, I miss the range of the Torden, must admit. And the sheer massive boom as well.
I love this thing.
Echo 7, this is Command. The higher-ups are watching you via satellite. They're very impressed. Not just with the weapon, but your performance as well.
Well, at least I'm putting on a good show, right? So there is that. There are a couple of flying enemies around. Oh, there's more enemies coming behind. Okay. You guys... Oh, there's a massive swarm coming this way as well. Right. Let's just unload this into them. Because of course, and yep, that made a massive dent. There we go. Echo 7 here, bringing the big guns and showing the higher-ups why I can get away with disobeying orders, because I am just that good, I guess. And yeah, grenade wall definitely being let down, I think, by the lack of splash. Well, but by its... Actually, let's be fair. Stats-wise, it actually has decent enough splash. It's just that the bigger splash weaponry is just so much better, because it can hit so many more things at once. It's like... I feel like we've rolled back to something I was touching on before, which is just like this game has a bit of a balance issue between its various types of weapons. If it wasn't for that, the grenade wall would probably be a decent weapon. It's just that I think the Torden overall does overshadow it a tiny bit. And let's be honest, this entire playthrough I've barely given guided missiles a look in. Even though in the Armored Core games, which I mentioned way back at the start, I'm playing this particular game because it reminds me of Armored Core. As one of the reasons to go for it. In Armored Core, I was actually really focused on the guided weaponry for a lot of stuff, so it's kind of odd to say that I've not really used them in this one. And yes, I know, I've literally just thought of that, and I've been playing this game for how long now? Goes to show my brain just goes wonky sometimes. Lack of sleep does that to you. Yeah, moving on. Did I pick up the money? Yes, I picked up the money. Okay, got the important stuff. Let's tear these units out of the air. I'm still waiting for the Ragnarok to overload. Or they're going to be mean to me and say that I can't have it after this mission. Or they're going to give it to another friendly unit to use when they saw how effective it is, and then it's going to blow up on them. And they're going to pull the entire thing as being not ready for use yet. So there's more coming. I'm actually running out of energy. So I have actually had to slow down my manoeuvring a little bit just to let my engine recover a bit. Grenade wall long range, scatters, but lacks, as you can see, the AoE to be as effective as a Torden would be at this kind of range. So I'll just fire the Ragnarok into that instead and say, go away. It's also the scatter of the Ragnarok, I admit, but that's also, again, probably a fault of my build. Because my sheer focus on things, as you know, I've not really gone for things like recoil stabilization, targeting accuracy, that kind of thing. Really have left those stats by the wayside. Something I think that may be interesting to do at some point in this is like, well, honestly, I'm considering maybe doing a guide series on this game as a potential project, like look into the different kinds of weapons, what they're good at, what they're weak at, that kind of thing. But also, like, as part of that...
Shit! Command, this is Echo.
There we go.
The laser just malfunctioned. I think it's overheated. Either that or it's completely checked. It's not responding at all. I'm a sitting duck here, Command. Requesting immediate extraction.
Roger that, Echo 7. I'm sending in the cavalry. Move to the designated extraction zone immediately.
Good thing we still got the grenade wall.
Roger that, Command.
But yeah, one of the things I was thinking of as part of that would be like not just looking at the individual weapons and things and the weapon types, but also like mech types as well. So it would involve like testing, doing the same mission with different mech focuses and builds and things like that. So we try some heavy armor ones, we try some focus on tracking, some focus on accuracy, some like sniper builds, you know, different things, because this entire time I've been playing a high mobility build, which is great, and letting you control your accuracy and what you're doing. I'm barely doing anything to these guys. I really do need to go, actually. But mobility is life in this kind of game, so how would a mech that's not really specialised in doing that cope? You know? Because there's a lot of parts that don't really spec that way.
This is Pegasus 2. I'm inbound on your position. Stand by for pickup.
Copy, Pegasus 2. Standing by.
Wait, the fuck is that? Break left. Break left!
Oop. No, not my extraction.
Pegasus 2 is hit! We're going down! I say again, we're going down!
Fuck! Command, this is Echo 7. The pickup just got shot to shit.
Roger that, Echo 7. You have to clear out all the laser-type enemies first, before we can call in another bird for your extraction. How copy?
Solid copy, Command. Echo 7 out.
So I'm being chased by these two guys and I have to go around and deal with all the lasers in the area. You know, this would be a lot easier if I had, oh, I don't know, my own laser still working. Blooming experimental piece of excrement. But yeah, I did, as I said, I kind of predicted the plot point that this experimental weapon is going to act experimental at some point and just fade on me. But it's so good, apart from that. Oh look, and now that I've not got the thing, they're just throwing lots of small enemies at me. It's a good thing I didn't actually come in with the grenade cannons in my hands and an anti-big boy build. Otherwise I would be in such trouble with these guys. Points for the importance of bringing in a flexible build which can deal with various target sizes, I guess. Right. Just deal with you. Okay. Blast through these guys because I see pickups over there. Ammo pickups. Not that important. I've got the big boys still chasing me. Adding to the threat, but that's an ammo pickup as well, don't care. There we go. Oh, that's another thing. I may be focused on thrust, but I barely use the dash, do I?
Command, this is Echo 7. Enemies have been neutralized. Send in the extraction. Over.
Roger that, Echo 7. Move to the designated extraction zone immediately. Phenomenal job. The Hierarchs have their eye on you.
Echo 7, this is Pegasus 4. Inbound on your position. Stand by for pickup.
This is Echo 7, standing by. Out.
Pegasus 4, do we have an update on Pegasus 2? Because, you know, those guys already tried to pick me up. Just so you know. Okay, there we go, right. Okay, so we got a Ryusei Tier 2 shoulder module, a Supremacy 3 head. A few bits and pieces in here, looks like. Typhoon Tier 2 legs, and a Night Lance Alpha. That might be an upgrade. Okay, so I guess let's break it down here. The Ragnarok. What do I feel about this thing? It's in a category in this game I would call power weapons, which the Tordens fall into as well, by the by, which are just like so powerful they kind of blow everything else out of the water. In this case, the Ragnarok, as presented in this mission, it doesn't do splash, but it fires a massive burst of very damaging laser beams, which can saturate a swarm. It's just that it will struggle a bit against, like, well, actually, it fires so many lasers, it doesn't really have that much of a weakness as long as you can keep it fed with power. And notice, by the way, they took it away again. I don't think I got it. I'll have a look. Please me a Ragnarok, please me a Ragnarok, please me a Ragnarok. Torden, there's a Ryusei GC, which is, of course, one of the burst fire hypervelocities. Ragnarok, please? Please? No, I don't get a Ragnarok. Darn. Mecha Knights Nightmare, you absolute tease. Oh well. So that's that, I guess. Oh, we did get some new parts to have a quick check on. Oh yeah, something else that's happened, by the way, since last time I played is there has been an update, which is a filter mode for inventory in here, which allows us to filter by tier. It doesn't let us filter by type, but it lets us filter by tier, so it will let us have a look around and do things like that. So we got the Hayate equipped, we got the... Let's check. Tier 2, the Typhoon and the Akia, so no upgrade there. Do we have a better booster? We do not. Arms, we just picked up that Night Lance, which unfortunately actually is the same. I forgot we already had that equipped, so not something new there, sadly. Goes the Assault, and we picked up a new head, the Supremacy 3, which is better at targeting, but not really an upgrade for how my mech is spec'd. So yeah, no real upgrades in terms of equipment. Except for the fact that we can go back to using Tordens on our arms, because, you know, the Torden is life, the Torden is everything, because it goes boom and everything dies. Also, I never actually kind of realised it in a roundabout way that the Torden 1 is actually a tier 1 weapon. It's kind of, I just looked at it right now and it was like, huh, that's a tier 1. I can't believe I forgot that was a tier 1 weapon. Oh well. Kind of shows how powerful it is, doesn't it? But anyway, yeah. Let's call it there though. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I'll catch you all some other team as I change the pose so it gets the weapons out of the camera view. That is, I kind of wish it wasn't like that, but oh well. But yeah, see you all later.